start the meeting. It looks like Councilmember DeLucy hasn't joined yet, but I'm sure she'll join shortly. The three boards that we are interviewing for specifically today is Human Relations Commission, which we have 2 vacancies, the Board of Adjustment, which we have 1 vacancy, and the Heritage Commission, which we have 2 vacancies for.
Okay, very good. And tell me, Becky, the Board of Adjustment, is that for a regular position? It's not for an alternate, correct?
Right, that's for a full position.
Okay. So Councilman Stewart has joined us, Daryl. He's the councilman for the 2nd district. Why don't you just kind of start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself? You have a great resume that I was excited to learn about.
Well, I guess as I was telling the mayor, I said, well, let's start with, I guess I've been living in Independence for the last 8 years, I believe. Before that, I lived in Raytown. I've worked at Missouri Department of Transportation for 5 years, and for the last 20 plus years, I've worked at MARC, or the Mid-America Regional Council, in the Transportation Department, and dealing with everything from long-range planning, Title VI, land use planning, as far as dealing with planning studies for land use, the long range plan, deal with the street element of the TIP, which is the Transportation Improvement Program, a number of other different areas within MARC, along with I'm the developer of the Title VI program. I deal with the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise program. I do additional hearing officer for the statewide minority business program, along with I act as the hearing officer for the City of Kansas City Women and Minority Business Enterprise program. I've worked a number of times. Let's say when I lived in Raytown, I was a planning and zoning commissioner. I helped develop the Human Relations Department or committee. I was the first chair for that committee, along with developing. I don't know if you know, back in the early 2000s, Raytown Reaching for Tomorrow. I was really instrumental in getting that kicked off the ground and moving forward. And since moving to Independence, I've had the urge to get back into being connected with the city more so than just as a member of MARC. And especially now, since I'm thinking about retiring sometime in the near future, I think my way of giving back is to participate in working with the city, helping the community get better access to city and government practices, understanding more about what is open to the public and how the whole process works.
Well, you have an incredible skill set, Daryl, so it's fascinating to hear about, and I think, you know, you would fit in a lot of different places with your background and experience. You know, I always tell people when I'm on the interview committee that if we don't find a place for you now, we want to keep you, keep you in our system for future opportunity of something that, you know, we always have more, you know, a lot of applicants for a few spots, so, or usually we do have, you know, I can see you being involved in many, many different ways. So Bryce or Karen, do you have any specific questions or anything else you want to discuss?
Oh, I think you're muted.
No, I'm sorry. I don't have any specific questions, Mayor.
Okay. Karen, you're muted too. Karen, you're muted. Wait a minute.
Gotta love technology.
I know, you're muted. Sorry. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just going to say, Daryl, I looked over your resume yesterday and I was very impressed, and I really want to keep you in the loop. I think you would be a great asset to all the committees.
Thank you.
So please, if you're not selected today, asked to join us today, we are not going to forget you. So thank you very much.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
And Daryl, just comment, for the time being, all of our boards and commissions are meeting virtually.
Mhm.
That will likely change to hybrid meetings, but we've had tremendous participation by most of our boards and commissions by doing it virtually. So we will always, I mean, I don't foresee us ever, or not, I shouldn't say ever. I don't foresee us going back to strictly in-person meetings. So, you know, for quite some time, if ever. So there will always be a virtual option. So just know, you know, if that's convenient for you, then that will continue to be an option.
Yeah, I think that's become my new normal.
Yeah, I know. It's like those headphones are glued to your head.
Really?
Well, it was great to meet you under these circumstances. And as Councilmember DeLucci said, I mean, we certainly want to find you a spot. You've got incredible skills. So thanks for joining us. And we have a few more interviews to do today, and then we'll, one way or the other, be in contact with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Just if you can't find anything, just keep me in the loop and keep me on the list for future.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Have
you.
a good afternoon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, it'll be interesting to talk to the others, because he could serve everywhere.
Yeah.
And just as a point of reference, I didn't put this on my applicant summary, but I would let you know that Daryl Fields, he's actually a recommendation for the Human Relations Commission. His application, he was actually solicited, if you will, by Mark Randall. Mark Randall thought that he would be a really good fit for the Human Relations Commission since he's kind of revamping that for us. So just to more food for thought whenever you guys are looking through the other applications as well.
Super. Yeah, he's got a lot of really applicable experience in that. So, great.
All right, the next interview, while we're waiting for them to come in, is Robert Pruente. He's scheduled for 4:45, so he should be in the room shortly. So if you guys want to take a few minutes to look over his application and discuss that before he gets here, you can do that, but we'll just have to wait for him to join the meeting.
Okay. And at 5, I'm going to switch over. I have to get in the car, so I'm going to switch over to my phone at that point.
All right, he's here now, so I'll go ahead and let him in.
Hello.
Hi.
So you go by Robert or Chaz?
I actually go by Chaz.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm Eileen Weir. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So we were just reviewing your application here and just wanted to open up. I just, kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and what your interest. I know that you're interested in the Heritage Commission, but, wondering if maybe there would be some other areas where you might be a good fit too. So why don't you just kind of tell us a little bit more about yourself and your interest?
Sure. So I've lived in Independence my whole life. My parents still live there. Me and my wife live on River, just across the street from Bryant, and we have 3 kids. 2 of them attended Bryant. 1 is still pre-K. I'm an architect. Been licensed for 7 years now. We live within the historic district. We live in our house is just over 100 years old. So we have all the joys of home ownership with a 100-year-old house. So I just, we love the community. We actually used to live on the other side of Independence, out behind AMC 20. But I just really love the area that we're in now, that it's walkable. We can walk up to the square. I liked where we were before, but if you took off walking, you didn't really get anywhere. So I really like kind of being in the historic area. That's also kind of why I put in that I like, I'd like to be on the historic preservation, committee, because we don't want to lose that fabric that our city has. That it's something that makes our town special. The square is an awesome place. I feel like it's starting to really turn around even more so now. There's other people starting to develop up there. Now, why I definitely want to encourage development, I think, like I said, we also need to preserve the past and really protect it. So I just want to kind of donate or dedicate my time to helping as best I can the community that I've grown up in and plan on forever being in. So that's a little bit about me, I guess.
Great. You have questions, council members, or comments? You're muted, Karen.
How's that now?
There you go.
Hi, Chaz, I'm Karen.
Hi.
I was very impressed at your resume. I was surprised as an architect that you were interested in the Heritage Committee. I found that terrific.
Yeah.
I really did, because there's so many good old buildings, and you might have a different eye towards restoring them.
Yep.
So I think it's terrific. Are you interested in any other commissions? Like if we did not ask you to sit on the Heritage Commission, is there any other commission you're interested in?
Honestly, I haven't looked into it much farther.
Okay.
I just it wouldn't be a no. I hadn't delved into any other ones. That was the one that kind of piqued my interest. Actually, Ron Grotenhouse, who I believe is the committee chair on that, and is, I think, getting ready to retire from that position. His daughter actually babysat our kids for a long time. So that's kind of why I'm aware of it. And I also had to go before it. At one time, our firm was working on the Hiram Young building, the Hiram Young School.
Sure.
So we were working with Habitat on that. It's unfortunate they just can't get their funding where it needs to be to deal with that old building. But I don't want to see that project, even though we're no longer working on it. I don't want to see that project go away, and I would hate to see anything happen to that building.
Right.
There's also, again, just kind of speaking into kind of towards my passion. When I was in school, I went to UMKC, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the UMKC campus. There's an old house on campus called the Epperson House, yep. And that is where architecture was at the time when I went through. And unfortunately, I believe the school was in that building basically fall into disrepair. So again, I want to, you know, I don't want to lose these things that I care about, and you know, trying to, you know, encourage people and also, you know, keep people responsible for keeping them up. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of bad development that can happen, and you know, we don't want kind of cookie cutter pre-engineered metal buildings or anything like that, you know, going up everywhere, which in a lot of small towns you see that because that's cheap and easy. So.
Thank you, Chaz.
Yep.
So Ron is recruiting his replacement on the Heritage Commission.
Well, I don't know if he even knows I applied.
Well, that's
but,
good. We like that. We like to see that.
But yeah.
Well, great. Bryce, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay. Well,
Thanks,
as we've got several people to interview today, we do have 2 vacancies on the Heritage Commission, and you know, several candidates for those. So we're going to complete our interviews and we'll have a little discussion, but we'll let you know in the next, you know, few days what our recommendation is going to be to the full council.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys. Bye.
All right. Next interview is scheduled for 5. It's Deb Twyman. I went ahead and sent her an email and just let her know that interviews are going a little bit quicker than we anticipated. So I encouraged her to jump on if she has the availability to do so before 5.
Okay. Karen, do you know her, Deb Twyman? Her name is
Very familiar.
I know. I thought the same thing too.
And I'm thinking maybe when we see her, it's going
Right.
to click.
I mean, she's been really active in town.
Yep. 30-year. She's the 30-year teacher, retired teacher.
Right. 7-time Teacher of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Becky, can you tell us who's on the Heritage Commission? How big a board is it? How many men? How many women?
Sure. Did you say Heritage Commission?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me just a second.
Thanks.
So this is a 9-person board. Right now we have 6 males and 2 females. And then 1 vacancy.
Is Audrey Elder not on the Heritage Commission?
She's not. So the Heritage Commission has an interesting appointment dynamic. You can term out, so you can do 2 consecutive terms, and then you have to wait, I believe it's 3 years before you are actually able to, be reappointed again. So she is up on her 3 years. Her 3 years just hit, and so now she's eligible for appointment back to this board, but she had already previously served her 2 consecutive terms.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. She was on, and then she's
Right.
Right.
taken her requisite time off, and now she wants to come back on.
Yes. And that's what's happening with Ron. He has hit his 2-term limit, and so that's why he's not eligible for reappointment this time around.
Okay. Ron Grotenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
While you guys are waiting for Deb, did you want to have any kind of discussion on the applications of the individuals who won't be interviewing today?
Let me look.
I did speak with Sarah Wimberly, and I mentioned to her that if she's selected for another commission, she have to get off the ethics commission. And she mentioned to me that she wants to continue to serve, whether it be on ethics or something else. It's fine with
Okay. The rest, I mean, Gene Ogle, we've known for a long, I mean, he's served a long time. Roy Brown, same thing. I mean, they've been on the Board of Adjustments for
me.
quite a while, so I didn't feel like we needed to re-interview them. So I just wanted to talk to, and I know Sarah, so I didn't feel like, for me, I didn't feel like and I know Audrey too, so you know, I just kind of picked out the people I haven't met before. So.
Becky, have the committees been meeting much during this COVID year?
Which committees? I'm sorry.
I'm curious about Heritage. I mean,
Heritage
it just
Commission?
seems like nothing's really happening, so.
No, if I'm not mistaken, I think they've basically just been canceling their meetings. I can't recall the last time that they've actually met and held their meeting date and time.
That's what I was afraid of. I have to go talk to my secretary for a moment. I'll be right back. Karen, if you want to go ahead and go, okay? Just make sure the front door is locked so that
Okay, it looks like Deb's in the waiting room if we're ready for her.
Hello, Miss Becky.
Hi. I think that, oh, there she is. All right, I'll let her in now.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Good.
And yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. We were just saying, we're reading over your application and we're like, do we know this person? She seems to be somebody who was awful and been awful involved for a long time. So I don't know if we've ever met, but it seems like we should have along the way. So
Possible. I've been around forever, so.
well, you've done a lot of things, so it's very impressive. So we are, let me bring you up here. So you're interested in the Heritage Commission. You live up on Delaware Street, right? Up in the historic district?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you just, like I said, we read your resume and your professional career as a teacher and many other things. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about why you're particularly interested in this, and if there will be other boards or we have, several applicants, more applicants than we have positions, so we're going to have to make some choices, but maybe anything else that you might be interested in?
I would be very interested in serving in whatever capacity it is you think I would be best suited to make a difference and to be of help. I was born in Independence and have lived here off and on most of my life. And goodness gracious, I think the first Twyman here was my great-great-great-grandfather. So the association with Independence is a fairly long one. And I think that you should pay back for the education and the benefits you've received from your city and your community. And while I was teaching and coordinating volunteer programs for the North Kansas City School District, my time was rather full. So I didn't have as much of an opportunity to give back, but now I'm retired, I do. And the Heritage Commission seemed like a good fit because history and broadcasting teacher. So I've got a little bit of knowledge in that respect. And I figured, well, I live here. It might be beneficial to have somebody living in the district who was on the Historic Commission. So that's why I kind of went with that. But as I said, I'm interested in, I think when you're given a whole lot, and I feel like I have been by this community and my family's association with it, I think you have an obligation to put something back. And so I'd like the opportunity to do that if you think I'm a good fit.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Council members, do you have anything else you want to ask or add? Karen, you're muted. I know.
Okay, Deb, now can you hear me? I was just saying, very nice to meet you. The mayor covered everything I would have asked, and I appreciate your interest, and thank you very much for applying.
Well, it is my pleasure, and I appreciate the call back. If, as I said, you think that there would be any benefit to putting me someplace else, I'm certainly willing to go where I'm asked to serve.
Bryce, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, that was a very quick interview, but we appreciate your willingness, and you just have an incredible background, and I know obviously a deep dedication to the city, so I'm certain we will find a way to utilize your enthusiasm in some capacities. So we'll finish our interviews here today, and then we'll just have a little bit of discussion and make our recommendations. So we'll be back in touch with you in the next few days anyway about what we're going to recommend to the council. So you can expect to hear from us one way or the other, all right?
Okay, thank you so much, and I appreciate the phone call.
All right.
Hope you all have a good day.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Wow, well, we don't have any duds so far.
No.
They're all good. I'm trying to make notes so I remember.
So this is heritage. This is heritage. This was. Is the next person Mr. Hammond?
No, the next person is Mindy Meadows. She's scheduled for 5:15, and I went ahead and sent her an email as well in case she can jump on early.
Okay.
Anthony Hammond will be last. He's technically scheduled for 5:30.
Oh, okay.
Was Mindy, Becky, by any chance, was Mindy referred by somebody for the Human Relations Commission that you are aware of?
I didn't get any type of communication from staff or the board that she has a specific reference, no.
Okay, because that was the only one that she selected, so I was wondering if maybe she was referred.
Yeah. Not to my knowledge.
I mean, Daryl would be great on the planning commission if we had a vacancy.
I don't know when the next vacancies are coming up.
Yeah, we can look that up. I mean, he'd be great on human relations too, obviously. Fine.
You said planning commission?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me just a second here.
That's always I mean, it's not hard to fill because lots of people want to serve on it, but it's.
Yeah, that's, excuse me, next round for planning commission, unless they have some people who leave, that's July. That's our next rotation for planning commission. So it'll be here sooner than we all probably want it to be. So
What about PUAD?
PUAD is also
too.
July. Mm-hmm.
There's there'll be two people are expiring in July. Now, of course, they could be reappointed.
Right.
It's Jack Looney and Mark McDonald, I believe.
Jack Looney and Mark McDonald for PUAB, and Billy Preston and Joe Weir for Planning Commission.
Okay. And they could both be reappointed as well, right? There's no limit, correct?
Right. There's no limit on either of those boards.
Okay. Becky? I'm going to run to the restroom while we're waiting, but if they get here before I go back, just go ahead without me.
Okay. Were you going to make a switch to your cell phone too?
And not quite yet, but I will
Okay.
probably after this one.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
While we're waiting, Becky, can you tell me the makeup of the other two, the Board of Adjustment and then the Human Relations?
Yeah. Give me just a moment, please. So Board of Adjustment has 5 regular members and 3 alternate members. Of the 5 regular members, they have the 1 vacancy, and it would appear that everyone on the board is male.
And the 3 alternates, they only step in when they don't have a quorum, I guess?
That's my understanding, yes.
Are the alternates male too?
Yeah, everyone on the board, regular membership and alternates are male.
Okay. And then Human Relations.
So Human Relations, if you remember, we just increased that board, so they have a 13-person membership now because they merged with the Diversity and Inclusion Task Force.
That's right.
And they currently have the 2 vacancies that you guys will be considering today, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 women and 4 men.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You might want to inform the mayor when she comes back as to the makeup of the board.
Yeah, I can
hate
let
for her not to be in the meeting when we're discussing something.
All right, Mindy Meadows is our next interview, and she's waiting in the lobby.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and let her in.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Mindy. I'm Eileen Weir.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. We were just looking over your application again and saw that you were interested in the Human Relations Commission. So we have several applicants for that board this time around. So why don't you just tell us a little bit why that one's of interest to you?
Okay, so I've lived in Independence my entire life. I like to volunteer and be involved in the community, and that would definitely be, sorry, I'm in my basement. I hope that's not like
It's okay.
It's fine.
That would definitely be an awesome way to be involved in the community. Thad is the one who actually put out the information, and I follow a lot of what he does in the community. And so I'm just really interested in a lot of the things that he's doing. And so that's how I heard about it, actually. And so I thought that would be an awesome way to be involved. So I'm not really sure exactly what all is involved, but I just, definitely piqued my interest. So.
Well, that's fine, because while we were waiting for you, I asked if you had been referred by somebody, because that was the only commission that you indicate. So that, that's good to know. So the Human Relations Commission is really where Becky, why don't I just have you explain what the current structure is and how that came about, because you've been very involved with guiding that entire process.
Sure. So right now we actually just went under a really big merger. Prior to the Human Relations Commission, we had a Diversity and Inclusion Task Force. So that's recently been merged in with the Human Relations Commission, which has given us the ability to expand the existing Human Relations Commission. They do work on a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion type tasks. Prior to the merger, they were very housing focused and citizens with disabilities focused, but they are going to kind of expand their horizon a little bit. This is really a good time to get in on this commission because they are undergoing so many changes, and part of the changes that they're going to undergo is restructuring and kind of redefining what their roles and responsibilities are. So, what they're doing now as the Human Relations Commission might not necessarily be what they're doing when they first start meeting. And then it's my understanding that the new expanded group is scheduled to meet sometime at the end of March. So we're waiting to fill these last two positions before we have them meet as one big group. So that's just kind of a high overview of the Human Relations Commission and kind of where we were and where we are now.
Okay.
Okay, so Karen or Bryce, do you have any other questions or?
I do. Hi, Mindy. I'm Bryce. I actually represent the 2nd District. I just want to say thank you for applying. I appreciate your interest, and I see you lived in Independence a long time. So hopefully, maybe if you don't get on with this one, maybe you'd be interested in something else. But just thank you.
Mindy, I'm Karen.
Hi.
Hi. I just wondered, how does the Board of Adjustment, do you think you'd be interested at all in, variances from zoning? Are you interested at all in geographical development of land use and things of that nature? Or are you more into the human relations that we're talking about? Is that the only one you're interested in?
Well, I didn't look at all of the different options, to be honest. I
There's
saw
loads.
that.
Yeah.
I saw that Thad had posted that. I'm currently a volunteer with the city, and so I just kind of pick up on some volunteer opportunities.
Okay.
And, you know, kind of volunteer through community services leagues and harvesters and things like that. And so that one in particular did pique my interest, but I would definitely be interested in other options if they kind of fell, you know, kind of within those types of guidelines. I was interested in the animal shelter. I have some applications in, you know, for some other things as well. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I mean, just,
thank you.
you know, part-time things, but if there was anything that, you know, commissions that fell, you know, in those guidelines, I would definitely be interested. I could have probably, you know, went through that list a little closer. I didn't know that there were, you know, so many different opportunities, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. No, I was just curious. Human relations seems to be the popular one tonight. So.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for applying.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Mindy. I don't have any other questions. I'm, you know, think that we kind of get a sense of what you're, you know, interested in. And like I said, we've got a lot of applications for that particular commission, but we'll make our recommendations and we'll be back in touch with you. And, you know, maybe we could, you know, I mean, some other things come to mind that I think maybe you may be interested in if we don't select you this round for the, I'm not saying we're not going to, but you know, if we go a different direction this time, I think there's some other things that might be interesting to you too. So we will definitely keep in touch with you. We'll notify you in the next few days what our just, you know, recommendations are going to be, but there'll be, you know, lots of opportunities for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And Madam Mayor,
yeah.
While you were off camera, Becky and I had a little conversation. I was curious on the makeup of the various boards, and the Heritage Commission has 6 male, 2 female, and 1 vacancy. 2 vacancies, 1 tonight. Board of Adjustments has 5 regular members, 3 alternate members, and all of them are male.
All of them are men, right? Yeah. And honestly, that is one that, you know, a lot of them have served a long time, and it would be nice to, you know, get some new people in there. But, you know, I was just looking on Mindy. We also have some vacancies. They're not for a while. They're not until November, but the Advisory Board of Health, I mean, if she's interested, she seems to be interested in, you know, more human, you know, like more people things. I mean, I just kind of picked up on that, then policy and process. Maybe Sarah would do Board of Adjustment.
That's a very good thought.
I mean, she's very bright, and you know,
I just think having a different perspective is valuable.
Agreed. But we could, and Audrey too, for that matter.
And Audrey too, you're right.
Audrey'd be great there, actually.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think they'd just be interested in, I mean, it's very, very important. It has a lot to do with the development of our city.
Yes, it does.
Are you guys ready for Anthony?
Yeah, let's let Anthony in, and I'll stick around and interview him, and then I'll get on the phone for our discussion.
Perfect. I'm letting him in now.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm Eileen Weir. We have Councilmember DeLucci and Councilmember Stewart. I'm sorry, I had your application pulled up here and now I've lost it. But why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself? And we see you're interested in several different boards and commissions, so we'll try to match you up in the right spot.
Sure, absolutely. I appreciate the time, and thanks everyone for letting me show up here today. Well, my name's Anthony Hammond. Lived in Independence since 2005, actually from a little town of Boonville, Missouri, so not too far away, but call Independence home. I lived there with my husband. We had renovated a house and just kind of put down roots there, so it's where we're planning on being for a while. I originally had signed up to be on the Safety Sales Tax Oversight Committee. I am a pretty avid follower of the city social media, watch all the meetings. I was actually watching the other interviews before this one, and pretty impressive group. I'm hoping I'm holding up. I didn't prepare as much as maybe as I should have. But when I was told that position was going to be filled, I thought, hey, it's a good chance to maybe look at some other boards, see what else is out there that fits my background. I've been a professional management person for the last 25 years, almost 30 years. I work with on the retail side, financial side, consumer collections, things like that. So I feel like I have a good, well-rounded set of capabilities and skills that could fit in a lot of different roles. But I'll leave that up to the folks that probably know better than me on that as to which one might be the best for me. But I did want to show that I was open and certainly encouraged to look at any opportunities.
Okay, great. Karen, Bryce?
Well, I'll tell you what, Anthony, your resume is very impressive. And
thanks.
I'm absolutely thrilled you're so interested in all aspects of our community. And so I hope that if we can't fill a spot this week with you, we're not throwing your application away. We are not going to let you go away.
I'll put you someplace. Rest assured.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And that's the thing is I'm kind of late to coming into it, so I'm a pretty patient person, and I want to be a good fit. I actually, just not to take up your whole evening here, but in 2018, I went through the Citizens Police Academy and really got an eye-opening to that. And I'm always tempted to sign back up for it, but I haven't done that. But anyway, if I can help out at all, it's something I'm really interested in and hope that I can.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
And
sure.
Tell me, Anthony, I'm sorry, so not that it matters, I'm just curious, what part of town you live in?
I live on East Walnut Street, just off the square on the way to Lee Summit Road, 2nd District.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's Bryce's district. So Bryce, do you ever have an individual council appointment?
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, Anthony reached out to me the other night via email, and I think it was Monday night or Tuesday night. I had just appointed somebody.
My day, yeah.
Forward to the public safety, but I definitely would have been interested. You would have had if you would have, I'm sorry, reached out to me before I had already appointed somebody.
Sure.
Things may have turned out different, but thank you for definitely being interested. I'm sure we can find something for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing before I go, I talk a lot, but the city clerk, she deserves a hefty, good job because she stayed on this and kept with me on the whole thing. And I really appreciate her help on that.
She's great.
She is.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll be in touch with you very shortly.
Okay. Thanks for your time, everyone.
Okay. You're welcome.
Bye.
This is not going to be easy.
No. So I'm really kind of, okay, so everybody was great, but Karen, what would you think about putting Sarah and Audrey on Board of Adjustments? I mean, we'll have to reach out to them, ask them if that would be of interest to them, because I really liked Robert for the Heritage Commission.
Can you, Robert, I'm
Or
sorry.
Chaz. Chaz,
Chaz?
the architect,
Yes.
and Deb Twyman for the Heritage Commission. And then Daryl and Anthony for Human Relations.
Yeah, I have Daryl and Anthony.
And then we could put Sarah and Audrey, see if they'd be interested in going on the Board of Adjustments. And we'll hold Mindy for something, you know, down the road. I mean, I just think there's a lot of places that she'd fit in, like, I mean, Arts Commission, the Advisory Board of Health, you know.
Excuse me, if we ask Sarah to go on to that commission, does that mean there's now going to be a vacancy at Board of Ethics?
Yeah,
so,
if she gets
so she may want to stay on the Board of Ethics.
Yeah, she might. I mean, they never meet, but.
I know.
But she'd be great on, and Audrey would be absolutely great on the Board of Adjustments.
Yes, she would.
She's just got a great skill set for that.
And then Robert for Chaz and Deborah Twyman for Heritage.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bryce?
I'm good with all that. I think I like Daryl in the beginning a lot. I thought he'd be a good fit. And then Anthony, I guess you always remember the first ones and the last ones, but yeah, I think they would both be a good fit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, everybody that we talked to tonight and the people I spoke to on the phone, all outstanding. We are such a lucky city to have so many talented people. But I think that's great.
Yeah.
I know Becky's not going to throw these applications away.
No, we'll keep them on file for a year. Do you guys want to go ahead and just make some motions for each of those boards?
Yeah.
So the first motion, if you guys.
Let's just do this first. Becky, why don't you reach out? Why don't you reach out to Audrey and Sarah and see if they would be willing to be appointed to the Board of Adjustments?
Mm-hmm.
And if they say yes, then we would, I would make a motion for that appointment.
Okay. Can we get a second on that?
I second that.
Okay. And then, so if they aren't interested in Board of Adjustment, do you guys have a second rotation that you'd like to consider for that, so we can get something on the next agenda for appointments?
Why don't you let us know, and then we can, maybe we could reconvene.
Okay, that's fine too.
I mean, if one or both say yes or no, let's see how that works out. And then I would make a motion to appoint Daryl Fields and Anthony Hammond to the Human Relations Commission.
I'll second that.
All right. Any objections on that one?
And then lastly, I'd move to appoint Robert Pruente, Chaz Pruente, and Deborah Twyman to the Heritage Commission.
I'll second that also.
All right. Any objections on that one? All right, perfect. So I think we're in good shape. I will reach out to Sarah and Audrey this week to see if they'll be interested in the Board of Adjustment. If I hear back and they're not interested, then I will work something out with you guys to reschedule for another meeting so we can reconsider Board of Adjustment.
Very good. Thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
everybody.
good night, guys.
Bye.